Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Cooley, Associate Director of Admission at University of Washington, Tacoma. Thank you for joining me and Navia to learn more about our transfer admissions process.
Believe it or not, the University of Washington does have 3 campuses. We've got University of Washington in Seattle, UW Bothell in Bothell, and the University of Washington Tacoma, nestled beautifully in downtown Tacoma. Now, there are definitely some similarities and differences among all 3 campuses. My favorite similarity to share is that regardless of which campus you attend, you're going to get a University of Washington education. When you walk across that stage to get your diploma, your degree says University of Washington. You can also expect the same academic rigor across all UW campuses.
Here at UW Tacoma, we house 5,300 students on our beautiful campus in downtown Tacoma. We are proud to be the most diverse 4-year university in the state of Washington.
You'll see that the University of Washington Tacoma is right in the center of downtown Tacoma. So there is so much to do and see when you're not in class. We've got 3 major museums across the street, and my favorite place to go is the Point Ruston area. You can have a bite to eat, check out the cool boutiques, catch the most beautiful views of Mount Rainier, or if you want to take in a park, go ahead and hop on over to Point Defiance Park or check out the zoo and aquarium.
Here at University of Washington Tacoma, your future is important to us, and that includes your future careers and internship opportunities. Every quarter, we hold career and internship fairs for you to connect with local and area employers. So if you'd like an internship at Multicare, maybe Amazon, T-Mobile, in Tacoma, in Kent, in Seattle, our career development office is here to help make sure that you are set up for great success.
One of my favorite things to share about the University of Washington Tacoma is that 100% of our classes are taught entirely by faculty. This means that you'll never have a graduate student or teaching assistant teaching your class. And that's going to pay off in a number of ways. Most importantly, you're going to be able to create a really strong rapport with your professors, and we have so many cool professors on our side. We have Assistant Professor Christopher Schell, an urban ecologist who focuses some of his research on carnivores, mainly coyotes, and how they adapt to the growing urban environment.
We offer you 40 different academic paths to explore. I'd like you to note on this slide the majors that are marked with little pencils. These majors are capacity constrained. They will require you to apply first to the university as a transfer student, and then you'll apply directly to the program. If you have questions about prerequisites or that separate application process, make sure that you make an admissions advising appointment with our team.
Now let's talk about admissions requirements. It's important to note that what you're seeing on your screen is specific to students that have at least 40 transferable college credits. If you're not there yet, that's okay. Connect with us and we'll just need a few more items when you're applying. The very first thing that we'll need to see to review your application is a minimum 2.0 GPA. Next up, you'll want to make sure that you've completed intermediate algebra with at least a 2.0 or have the course in progress when you apply. You'll submit the transfer application and then send in official transcripts from all colleges and universities that you've attended. Now remember, those are minimum requirements to have your application reviewed, but there are certainly things that you can do to be a more competitive applicant to UW Tacoma. The very first is to complete an approved transfer degree through one of your local community colleges.
To be a competitive applicant, we encourage students to aim for at least a 2.75 transferable GPA. We want to ask that you also have completed college-level English composition class, 2 terms of a single world language, and make sure you're applying by our posted deadlines.
Keep in mind that as you're making your transfer plans, there are a few resources that you can use to make sure you're on track. The first is called My Plan. It is an interactive online tool that you can use to see that your Washington State Community College credits are transferable, and also a way for you to compare and contrast different majors at UW Tacoma, but also in the University of Washington system. You don't need a UW account to log in. You can get into My Plan with a Gmail account or your Facebook account. If you're checking to see how your credits from your Washington State Community College will transfer, simply get into the program, put in your date of birth, and your Washington State Community College student ID. You'll see your unofficial transcript populate and how those classes transfer over to the UW system. The next is our UW Equivalency Guide. It's an online PDF where you can cross-check how classes might transfer over. And last but not least, meet with an admissions advisor. We are a resource for you. We're always happy to connect with you for a Zoom or phone appointment through our live chat feature or through our many webinars offered weekly.
Being a student at University of Washington Tacoma means you're active outside the classroom as well. Our Center for Student Involvement is here to help you find the student organization that fits just right for you. So whether you're looking for something academically focused, maybe something culturally focused, or even philanthropic,
we have so many resources available to make sure that our students are successful on campus. One of my favorites is the Pantry. They exist to provide supplemental, nutritional, and culturally relevant food to our students and their families. You can get things like fresh produce, grains, canned goods, and hygiene items all out of the Pantry. They partner with local food banks and with the UW Tacoma Giving Garden to make sure that the shelves are stocked.
Are you interested in living on campus? University of Washington Tacoma offers a residential experience in Court 17, our apartment-style residence halls. We offer studio, one-bedroom, and two-bedroom opportunities. With a strong community, programs, RAs, hall directors, you're sure to be successful both in and out of the classroom.
This slide shows costs and financial aid for a full academic year. You'll see estimated tuition, and everything under that is really dependent on your own experience. So if you live with multiple roommates, your room and board might be a little bit cheaper than if you live on your own. One important number that I like to point out is parking. While we do have parking permits available for students to purchase, students are also able to use what we call a U-Pass. It's good for public transportation across the Seattle-Tacoma metropolitan area. So if you're down with public transportation and want to help out the environment, maybe the U-Pass is a good option for you.
Part of University of Washington's commitment to making school affordable is our Husky Promise program. For students who qualify based on their income, you could potentially have your tuition covered entirely by federal, state, and institutional grants. But you must file your financial aid paperwork.
Now get your pencils out, because these are your important dates. October 1st is when the FAFSA or WASFA application opens for the following academic year. The next box over is going to be your winter priority date, October 15th. Next is your spring priority date of January 15th, and also our priority deadline for the FAFSA or WASFA application. Last but not least, for those of you applying for autumn, make sure you get those applications in by March 15th. Now, I want to also point out that we've got priority dates and final deadlines for our applications. Priority dates ensure that you get priority consideration for admissions and scholarships. So make sure you jot these down to get your app in by then.
Finally, I really encourage you to continue to engage with us. We offer live webinars weekly. We also have live chat available on any of our admissions web pages. We are available to chat from 8 to 5 o'clock Monday through Friday. I hope that you'll make an appointment with one of our admissions advisors. To do so, just email uwtinfo@uw.edu to request an appointment. Thanks for joining us today. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much for joining Megan and I for our transfer admissions presentation. If you have any questions, let us know, but we look forward to seeing you in person.